welcome to your new moon video for the new moon in Revati Nakshatra on the 28th of March 2017. For those of you in the States, the new moon will take place on the 27th of March. In the UK, the moon will be new at 2:57 a.m. If you'd like to know the exact time in your particular time zone because you're a nerd like me, then you can look that up online and you should be able to find it for your particular time zone. You know, sometimes we are really anxious for a change, but no matter how anxious we are for a change, the change just isn't ready for us. And we can apply ourselves and we can think, well, you know what, maybe if I really push a little bit harder, then I'll be able to actually have a breakthrough. And instead, you don't really get that breakthrough, right? At least not on an external level. You might get it on an internal level. And right now, I think that's where you're going to be finding the most progress at this particular moment in time. Let's talk a little bit about Revati Nakshatra and some of the aspects that are going on in the background that's beginning to create this type of environment. So Revati Nakshatra, as it is the last nakshatra, it has this tendency to create a feeling of being in a state of limbo. Because what is actually happening with Revati Nakshatra is one phase of existence is reaching a close. And the next phase of your existence has not yet begun. And so it kind of leaves you in a period of time where things are hanging in the balance. And if you're a person who is really ready for something to shift, then that can be really frustrating, right? But actually it's beneficial because quite often we need a little bit of extra time for reflection, even if we don't think we need that extra time for reflection, so that we can know the necessary steps that should be taken in the next phase. And even if we're not needing to use that period of time for reflection in terms of what should happen next, then when things finally do actually reach that point of shifting, we begin to appreciate it even more, and we begin to see why it was actually necessary to wait for the conditions to be right for the change to come into being. Now, as this particular new moon is in Revati Nakshatra, there are some other aspects that are going on in the background. First of all, something that's ongoing until early to mid-April is that we've got Venus going retrograde, and it's retrograding back through Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. And with this particular phase of Venus's retrograde cycle, it's taking each of us as individuals through deeper and deeper layers of taking a look at something that has either been hidden from our view or something that we've been blocking out of our own view because we don't want to take a look at it. For lack of a better way to put it, you know, let's not pull any punches here. It's showing us some of the areas that we're ignorant and some of the areas that we're really needing to pay a deeper level of attention to. Mixed in with that, we've got Venus, and we've got Mars, and we've got Mercury, and we've got the moon, and we've got the sun, all interacting with Jupiter. So Jupiter really is kind of like a little bit of a fulcrum point in this particular phase of your existence. And what's going on with Jupiter is it's in Chitra Nakshatra. And Chitra Nakshatra can have a tendency to make us think that we know where our heart is really at in association with something, only to find out that, you know, perhaps we've either been selfish or perhaps we have either been a bit dogmatic or a bit stuck or needing to take a deeper look at something. And the way that it tends to do this is it makes things appear to be one way. It makes things appear to be the way that we want them to be. And so then we pursue that particular path, only to find out that we become disillusioned. But somewhere in the process of becoming disillusioned, we begin to find out where our heart truly is in relation to something. Now, Mars, which is interacting with Jupiter, and which, by the way, is the Lord of Chitra Nakshatra, Mars is transiting through Revati Nakshatra. So as Mars is doing that, it's taking us through deeper and deeper layers of cleansing out and getting rid of old stale ways of looking at things, that way that we were disillusioned about. It's helping us to clear all of that stuff out, and it's helping to pave the way for an actual deep and powerful shift that is coming sometime in the next several weeks. In conjunction with that, we've got Mercury, which is in Ashwini Nakshatra. Now, Ashwini Nakshatra wants to find a quick solution to the problem that one is dealing with, but it wants that solution to be something that is dharmically correct, something that's right for all parties involved, something that feels right in one's heart, especially because of the interaction with Jupiter. But every instance that one begins to follow that path, things begin to go wrong. And then it ends up leaving each of us as individuals feeling somewhat, scattered, like we're uncertain of what to do. And then things get disjointed and we end up getting a little bit frustrated. And so then the pressure builds, and going back to the beginning of the video, then we begin to push a little bit harder, thinking that we're going to find that movement if we just apply a little more passion, a little more strength, and a little more oomph to the situation to make a breakthrough. But in reality, what is being asked is to really get it right, really to use this time wisely to cleanse things out, right? Those old paradigms, ways of looking at things that we need to let go of, really just letting all those kind of fade to the side. Look at the new things that are rising to the surface. If you feel confused, rather than pushing harder, what you need to do is instead, you need to go a little bit deeper in here. You need to listen. Rather than focusing on what you can do externally, you need to think of what needs to happen in here and in here, and how you can make adjustments based upon those things in order to plan the next phase of your journey. And even if when you do that, it goes wrong again, well, listen again, go deeper, learn more. That's all that's being asked of you. If you'd like to know how this particular new moon cycle might be impacting you personally, I do invite you to take a look at my astrological services page, which should be linked below. There are a couple of new services that are added, one being a karmic analysis consultation and the other being a career consultation of 2 different links. So if you'd like more information about those consultations or anything else, please visit the link below. That's going to do it for a look at the new moon in Revati Nakshatra for the 27th and 28th of March 2017. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.